Buffs put on their first theater show since the pandemic. Administration is beginning to apply new policies in the building to combat behavioral issues, and the recent Board of Education election and how it will affect you. All this and more coming up on BTV. Hi Buffs, welcome to the newest installment of BTV. I'm your host, Miles Banks. There's been an increase in violence here over in the country and even here in Wichita. Some of the violence has even impacted people here at Southeast. Sam Greer has more.
Azuri, she was always nice, always smiling. She was a schoolgirl. She loved coming to school. She was always happy. She was the innocent 16-year-old girl that did not deserve to get murdered.
Like the rest of the country, Wichita has seen a rise in violent crime during the pandemic, and it has even impacted us right here at Southeast. Student Azuri Jones was killed on September 23rd as a result of a drive-by shooting.
It was very shocking, surprising. I felt very sad. I had to walk out the classroom. The teacher was upset, but...
Southeast also lost senior Cedric Lofton in September, who passed away in police custody. The cause of death is still under investigation. And just days before Jones and Lofton's passing, 3 students were injured in a shooting near East High School.
Yeah, like the shooting at East. You even at school, you probably can't even feel safe in school now because they're shooting up the school. It made me feel like anxious about going outside anywhere because, you know, stuff that happen, it can just happen, like wrong place, wrong time.
In 2019, the year before the pandemic, Wichita had 35 criminal homicide cases. During the height of the pandemic, the number jumped to 52 cases. In 2021, there has been 40 cases so far. However, the cases involving people under 18, either victims or suspects, has been more than the past 2 years combined. Director of USC 259 Safety Services, Terry Moses, who was a former deputy chief of the Wichita Police Department, has watched violence rise over the years.
I worked for the Wichita Police Department for 33 years before I came to this public school system. And in that time, our homicide rate was the highest back in the 1990s. And last year, in 2020, we equaled that rate. So that's a pretty strong indicator that violent crime is up.
There are things you can do to help protect yourself and your community from becoming victims of violence.
If you see something that's going on that's inappropriate, you certainly need to let somebody know. We have a variety of ways to do that. If you're afraid of retaliation, you can use our Speak Up program, which is an application you have on your phone that allows you to anonymously report something.
Desiree emphasizes to never take time with your loved ones for granted because you never know when things could change.
I wish, the last time me and Desiree talked, I wish we would have talked a little bit longer. Like, you know, don't just get into petty arguments with people and then call it quits and stuff like that because they could be gone the next day.
Thanks, Sam. Admin has just enforced new policies across their building to help things run a lot smoother. Reporter Justin has more.
Administration has introduced new policies and rules enforcement, including the new no-zone area in the Commons and more strict language and dress code enforcement.
Dress code talks about not having a bare midriff, that's that area kind of in the torso. And as we've gone through the school year, we have noticed that a lot of our students, most of the time females, have those areas uncovered.
The no passing zone has also came into effect. This rule is mostly applied to the hallways and cafeterias most specifically.
The intent is so that we don't have a ton of students just standing in certain places. We can see across the cafeteria and see who's where and talk to other administrators or other staff. But also, so kids aren't just kind of congregating because it ends up 2, 3, 4, 5 people in a group, and then it's 10 or 15 people in a group, and then you can't see or hear what's going on in the middle.
Lastly, teachers have agreed that students' behaviors has gotten better ever since the rule has been in place.
Behavior has gotten better. There are still some outliers that, you know, where we have a fight here and there, but most of the time it seems like the fight numbers have gone down and the issues of students in the cafeteria and other areas have gone down.
Administration will evaluate and adjust the rules if problems persist. For BTV, I am Justin Van.
The USD 259 Board of Education just elected 3 new members, and they will be making some pretty strong decisions on how our schools function. Reporter Christy Dong has the results and how they may impact you.
Around the U.S., there has been a lot of media coverage of violence during school board meetings. Parents are upset over mask and vaccine mandates and critical race theory.
Stop. Hey. Whoa, guys, come on. Hey, officers.
In Wichita, the board is an unpaid and nonpartisan position. In this year's election, there has been more interest and money spent because of the controversy.
Well, generally speaking, with school board elections that are in off-election years, you're going to have about 10% participation. So I think if people want to feel like their voices are being heard, that they will turn up in these types of election years.
While many students aren't able to vote currently, it is still important to be involved politically.
It's really important to help make decisions for the future of the country that you're going to live in and participate in. So starting at an early age, it gives you opportunities to see different things and learn exactly what you want to focus on as far as politics and stuff as you get older.
The decisions that the BOE make also heavily impact students.
I mean, they approve the calendar, they approve curriculum, they run student services, building services, so everything you can think of that involves running a district.
In District 2, Julie Hedrick won her re-election. In District 1, 5, and 6, Diane Albert, Kathy Bond, and Hazel Stadler won. The three of them defeated their incumbents. Something new this year was that candidates ran in groups. One group was endorsed by the local Republican Party to try and change the majority of the board.
Well, the entire idea of a school board, at least in the Wichita area, is that it's a nonpartisan race. There is no party affiliation attached to the people who are running, and they view that as important because education is I want to say an apolitical decision, because there certainly are politics that exist within it.
In addition to mask mandates, there has also been a controversy about if critical race theory should be taught in schools. The newly elected board members oppose of that idea.
I really support the teachings of critical race theory. I think we should learn to embrace and learn more about our history and how some of the policies in the American government have been made to target a minority group. But again, we shouldn't be burying it, but we should be embracing it and learning to improve on it.
The newly elected members will officially take office in January, so pay attention to the decisions that are going to be made in the future. For BTV, I'm Christy Dong.
Our theater department put on their first production since the start of the pandemic. I know you've heard of Hansel and Gretel, but this play focuses on the soul story of Gretel.
Throughout last year, the Southeast Theater crew couldn't do any live performances, but this year they are bringing the performances back, starting with Gretel.
Gretel is about the story before Hansel. It's kind of like a folktale, kind of.
Gretel is this little girl. She's around 10 years old, and she's just trying to get around and trying to help her family out, and gets in a bunch of issues and challenges along the way.
During performances, the theater crew still have some protocols they have to follow.
During backstage, if we're not on the stage, we have to wear these black masks. But on stage, we can take our mask off. But once we go backstage or like off stage, we have to put our mask back on.
But what has the experience been like working on Gretel?
It's been really good. We've all put a lot of work into this show. We've had stressful times, but overall, I think this has been one of the easiest shows to rehearse and to perform.
It's been a little challenging since we have been off there. Some people haven't been on stage since 2 years ago, or maybe we haven't even been on stage at all. So it's been a little bit of a challenge trying to get everyone to adjust, and everyone like getting lines down and like props used, and like we have all new crew. So there's only one person on each lights and sound that know what they're doing. So it's been a real learning experience for everyone, especially people who are new to the school.
Look out for more performances from the theater crew later this year. For BTV, I'm Christopher Doe.
JAG, Jobs for America's Graduates in Kansas, recently held a ceremony acknowledging the students and staff members. JAG is a program that helps students during the graduating process and in finding a job for after life. Recently, we've had a lot of local politicians come up to our school to explain to us how government works. Most notably was Brandon Johnson, our vice mayor and the vice mayor for District 2.
You know, a few things. One, you're not too young to get engaged. You should get engaged because people my age and older are making decisions that impact you in your city and your community. So if you're a student that says that you don't have anything to do in Wichita, or Wichita is boring, and you're looking at a big city and all those opportunities, if you get engaged and talk to us, maybe we can help make some of those decisions to start giving you more of what you want to see here.
And now I hand it over to Neo for another segment of Have You Heard? This question is how students can identify songs from other generations.
Hey Buffs, welcome back to Have You Heard? Today we are playing some newer songs for teachers and older songs for students to see who can better identify the music from the other's generation.
Oh my god.
Dang, I can't get the voice. Yeah, because it's like auto-tuned.
Drake.
What song is it?
I don't know.
It sounds like Firework by Katy Perry.
Kiss?
Yeah. Do you know which song?
No.
That's all right.
That's Kanye West.
What song?
Donda. Donda.
Was this? Wait, is that the beginning of? Oh, what was that? Like whatever stupid Kanye song that was. Yeah. Was it like Scoop Diddy Poop or whatever that was?
Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that.
And now we take a look at how our winter sports are getting amped up with David Lowndes.
Hey, BTV, David Lowndes here with sports. Tryouts have officially started for all of wrestling, basketball, and swimming. The tryouts have begun as of Monday on the 15th and have games later on in the season. The first basketball games will be Thursday, December 2nd at the G-Wall Challenge. The boys' first swimming meet, Triangular, will be on Thursday, December 9th, here at 5 in the pool. The district will have a new clear bag policy regarding all the winter sports. The bags have to have certain measurements of 12 by 12 inches and 5.5 by 7.5 inches. And here's an update on how the esports team has been doing. The League of Legends team has reached second place in the regular season. The Valorant team is currently undefeated, and the Overwatch team has struggled with players, but that doesn't stop them from winning at a very high level.
So over the past 2 years, and when I say 2 years, it was the tail end of 2 years ago, the spring, and then we had the fall and spring, and now we're in our second fall season. In that time, we've accumulated 14 national titles. So we are definitely up on the leaderboard. We are well known across the United States for being one of the best, if not the best, high school for esports right now.
And now, here's Buff Elites with Ricky Clay.
Hi, welcome back to Buff Elites with Ricky Clay. I'm here with Egypt Allen today from our wrestling team. I was a wrestler my freshman year, which was a mistake, but, I was horrible. It's not about me, though. It's okay. But, talking about, teams and things or people that, might need a little bit more development, where do you see the team going, and how do you think they're going to do come the end of the season?
I think we're going to at least be ranked. As many people as we have now, we got a chance at winning.
Sounds great. All right, once again, that's Buff Elites here with Egypt Allen. I'm your host, Ricky Clay. See you next time.
And that was your Sportcast with me, David Lowndes, with BTV. Back to you, Miles.
If you don't know by now, Miss Reddick is an assistant principal here at Southeast. In fact, she just won Assistant Principal of the Year just last month. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and Miss Reddick will be leaving us to go pursue a principal's position at Curtis Middle School. We thank you, Miss Reddick, and we wish you the best of luck on your journeys.
I think that sometimes when there are movements like this, people think that there's something bad or somebody did something wrong. And I don't think that this is the case. I think that I have been at Southeast to see that Curtis are what I consider baby buffs. So it's just an opportunity to do what I do here in a smaller location, a smaller sense. I don't intend to go there and change everything dramatically. I think that's a terrible decision that leaders can sometimes make, where they go into a new space, see things that they assume is wrong, and just try to disrupt the apple cart. I think that there are probably just some tweaks here and there that could work, but I plan to work with a team to do that rather than coming in on my own thinking that I know everything. That's not the way I try to lead.
That's all for this episode today, Buffs. Tune in next time to another episode of BTV. Please enjoy some sounds from the Southeast High School Bands and Orchestra at the Veterans Day Ceremony.